Just as a quick disclaimer, this episode of Homies Inc. has spoilers for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Ben 10. If you don't want to hear these spoilers, you can skip ahead of these parts. Thank you. This episode of Homies Inc. is sponsored by Peanut M&Ms. I can't eat them. You're listening to Homies Inc. Welcome to Homies Inc., the show made by high school students that are bored in quarantine. I'm Alex.
And I'm Bailey.
And we've been gone for God knows how long.
There's quite a large hiatus. We graduated since the last episode. We've both gone through, or you've gone through a semester of college,
I've gone through quarters, so I've gone through
quarters.
2 quarters of college.
I've also gone through 2 quarters of college as well.
And we've been through the 9 circles of Dante's Hell and back.
Dante's Hell, yeah.
We made it back with, I'd say, 90% of our sanity.
Yeah, and it's life is different. I want to say because this whole resurgence started when I listened to the old podcast. So like life is different,
Yeah, it's a little strange. I mean, we haven't heard ourselves on recording after the second episode. We recorded a few episodes and I have them sitting on my computer. We recorded like 2 or 3. I have them sitting on my computer. Like I edited 1 or 2 of them. Unreleased demos.
Special demos.
Unreleased demos sitting in my files on my computer. And I was like, you know what? We haven't been cranking them out. We're all getting super busy because college was going to start in a few weeks. So we might as well just put it on a hiatus. And now that summer's coming around,
we all moved. Or we didn't all move, but me and Jesse moved across states. Jesse moving quite literally to the other side of the country.
He's in the concrete jungle now of Rochester, New York.
Which isn't that big of a concrete jungle, but it's New York.
He's dealing with a lot in New York. They got the pizza rats over there. They got the Ninja Turtles.
They got the pizza rats.
I'm pretty sure they're dealing with Batman every once in a while, but
he lives in Gotham.
Gotham's like the comic book version of New York, or so I've heard. Because it's the Eastern Seaboard, so I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I thought it was a Chicago, but on the East Coast.
I'm going to have to contact the director of DC Comics to figure this out.
Who is that? Because I know Stan Lee was Marvel. He created him and Jack Kirby, but who
Bob Iger created.
Bob Iger.
And Diane Nelson is the current president of DC Comics. Ooh. So we're going to have to email Diane and be like, yo, so Gotham, where is it?
I want to say, this is a pretty big segue, but I want to say I always thought of it because in the Arkham games, you're touching the ocean, like Gotham is on the coast, and so I thought it was a Chicago mixed with New York, put on the coast, the East Coast of America, and that's where I thought it originated. But I could be wrong because my extent of DC goes as far as the Arkham games.
I would say I have also very limited knowledge of DC Comics. I have a little bit more because I'm a little more of a comic person. But in the Arkham games, I remember also in Arkham Knight, it's like they're on the Eastern Seaboard and they're like, so Joker's hitting this side. It wasn't Joker, it was Arkham Knight.
Scarecrow and Arkham Knight. Because that's when Alfred, in the very first kind of mission where Batman sees the Joker for the first time, the first Joker hallucination, is when Alfred's like, you realise it will take out the whole Eastern Seaboard or whatever if he doesn't disarm the fear
Yeah,
toxin
that
bomb.
was my thought. He was like they were talking about how Scarecrow's toxin was going to be all over the eastern seaboard if he didn't stop it and it like right then and there.
Yeah, and you couldn't move really fast because it was like a volatile thing, so you had to move slowly, but not too slowly
Yeah.
because then it would have blown up.
You know, that part really frustrated me. The fact that you couldn't move like fast. Like I had my finger on the joystick, right? And I was moving it. And I moved it as far as I could, and yet I'm walking like 0.005 miles
Yeah.
per hour. And I get that Batman's carrying this giant like gas tank, but honestly, it's Batman. He should be able to carry it a lot faster because we've seen in the movies he can carry tires across the entire like Batcave within a matter of like a
Again.
few minutes. So I don't know what's going on with Arkham with Rocksteady, but they're really nerfing down Batman right then and there. I don't remember where we were. Where we
Okay,
started this
well we went on a
conversation.
DC. We're the title of this episode should be "Where Are They Now?" And
All
I
right.
think we're gonna do
Okay.
a recap of the past since the last
Okay.
since the last
Episode.
episode, which was in like summer of last year. So like
According to
it
Spotify,
was before June 20th because June 20th is when we graduated high school.
want to know what's funny? According to Spotify, it came out in May.
May, oh my God, almost a year later.
It
We're
was
literally
almost
almost a
literally a year
year
later.
later.
That's
Damn.
wild.
All right, well, what transpired?
What's okay? Let's start with you, Bailey. What
Okay,
happened since
so
May 2020?
I mean, all right, so since May 2020,
Let's get to the
um,
real deep issues.
So the beginning of quarantine as a
Mhm.
senior in high school, schoolwork was incredibly difficult because I didn't want to do it at all because also I feel like I don't know if I was the only one. I want to say maybe I experienced it like more intensely, but
Mhm.
like I got through high school, I got a pretty good uh like system of like, all right, I work on school at school and I do whatever I want at home
Mhm.
because like our school was pretty different and we didn't have homework as much. Like we had the homework like very small amounts, but it was like if you didn't finish it at school, finish it at home. And so I got it pretty nailed down that I did it at school, and so I kept school, and home. And
Mhm.
so when like it was like, well, you got to do school at home, and I was like, well, you see,
I don't want
that's not
to.
how I roll. It was difficult, and like especially Dr. Sarah's class
Mhm.
was difficult, but yeah, it whatever. So after that episode, I probably stressed out about Dr. Sarah's research paper, but then eventually I did it because like I forget when it was like I want to say at the beginning of June,
Mhm.
like the June 1st to June 20th was like we still had school in quotation marks, but not really school. Like we didn't have to go to any Zoom meetings and we didn't have homework, but
Mhm.
like we were still in school because we graduated on the 20th and that was like our last day.
And this is high school, right?
Yeah, this is high school.
Okay.
This is our senior year. And so senior year, May, I did the research paper. I did some art for Jeremy's, and um, then June 20th rolls around, and you were there, Alex.
I
I
was there
mean, we can both kind of give our recollection of
of graduation.
graduation, which was a
Okay.
drive-through graduation, which
So
was
yeah,
as I thought it was going to be way worse, but I think it worked out pretty okay.
it
Like
like
I enjoyed it.
it was okay. So for those who didn't know what a drive-through graduation is, it's basically we have this giant parking lot in the
Mhm.
middle of like what I call the campus of like the high tech high
Yeah,
schools.
the high tech high village. There's like
Yeah.
yeah, it really is kind of the center because like media arts, the middle school and high school are like across the street from it.
Mhm.
The high school, the regular high school and regular
Are literally
middle
right next
school
door.
are right next to it. And then on the other street is international.
So it's a cool like it's just right in the
It
dead
was
center.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
And so
and they
they set up
snaked.
a route, yeah, of like where we drove or like
Mhm.
where you were supposed to drive. And like all the teachers stood like out like in the parking lot, but not in like the way you drove. It was just like you
They were
You
just
drove
like
by them.
they were kind of like the way that I saw it, they were kind of like cones,
Yeah.
like human traffic cones. So they stood there, so they know, like the drivers know, hey, you have to turn at this place, you have to turn here. So it was like a weird snake thing. And all these people had all these decorations. Like Cole had his face
I don't remember that.
like
I don't
plastered
think
on
I
his
saw
windows.
calls.
Oh, you didn't? I was there. I was sat like my car was literally right across from his, and I could see that his face was like jumbotron and plastered
Jumbo.
onto. I don't know what you call it. It was like blown up, and it was
Yeah,
like
yeah, just like
plastered
on the
onto
on
his
the
on
car.
the windows, and they had like giant popsicle sticks
Oh,
with
I
his face on it.
remember that. Never mind. I remember
I have
that.
like a photo somewhere, and it was so
Yeah.
funny because I was like, "Wait, I know that guy. Oh, that's Cole."
Yeah. I was behind
Cole.
Aiden Larrabee and he just had a
Oh,
pickup truck and I remember I was just like, hell yeah. Cause
didn't
like,
he have his girlfriend there? Wasn't he
did
with?
he? He had a,
Yeah, in
I
the
don't know.
bed of his pickup
I did
truck. I think
not
I
know him
saw.
enough to know whether or not he had a girlfriend. We made each other laugh in Dawn's class, Dr. Dawn's class.
Hmm.
But that's as far as my relationship with him. But whatever.
Right.
Aiden Larrabee's fucking awesome. He's a cool dude.
Aiden Larrabee, pretty neat dude.
But yeah, I was behind him, and then behind me by two cars was like Anjani, and then ahead of me by like two or three cars was Chanel,
Hmm.
and then behind her was Staffa. So whatever, I
You
saw
had a
people.
pretty neat
We
group,
saw
like
people.
in your snake.
Yeah, my car had just balloons on it, and we had uh, paint markers or chalk markers, whatever, some sort of marker that the night before we uh, uh, like did we just put a bunch of quotes on there and a bunch of people were like, oh, congratulations, Bailey, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What was on your car? I don't know if I saw it. Did you drive
Um.
the red Kia?
I no, I didn't have my key, so I didn't learn how to drive
Oh
until like
yeah.
September. So in my snake, I had like I was driving in my grandma's Lexus because I didn't have my license until September,
September, yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So there was this like gray SUV Lexus, and we had all these signs plastered where that my grandma and my sister and my mom made
Hmm.
probably the night before, and we had a bunch of streamers and like balloons, so they went all out.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and then in front of me was, I think, Chloe. Chloe
Oh, you
Hernandez.
were behind me then, because I remember I saw
What?
Chloe. I saw Chloe when the car, like when you started to see people behind you a little ways
Mm-hmm.
because the cars passed because it like snaked around itself. I saw Chloe in her big pickup truck with her.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was like close to you, I think, because then JC was, I think JC was a
Was either
little,
behind
I
or
think he
in
was,
front of Anjani because I remember they
okay.
were.
Yeah, I think now that I think about it, Chloe was two cars ahead, and JC was like directly ahead, and then behind me was um I think a few cars behind me was Gigi because I looked behind and I saw like her sitting on top of her black SUV waving like some sort of pageant queen. And then I think his name was Colby, but
Oh, I
he
remember.
had this paper mache like giant graduation hat
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
on
that's
top
kind
of
of
his car.
weird, but whatever.
Life is life, man. Okay, so post graduation,
Okay, so we graduated. We did that. Walked across the stage, got the diploma and everything.
we took photos at the
We took
bay.
photos at the bay, the
Looked
three
kind
of
of
us.
fire, not gonna lie.
Look who's on the fire.
Fresh to death.
Yeah. Okay, so after we graduate, what did I do after I graduated? Oh, so I did a graduation party.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we had the
I don't.
bonfire.
Yeah, we did. And we had
Yeah.
everybody over. I don't remember everyone who was there, but I remember you were there. Chanel was there. Anjani,
Jesse was there.
Jesse was there. JC, Titus,
Titus? Yeah. Titus was there.
and JC, and yeah, because
Jimmy.
you were crammed in the back seat when we left. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
had
was
Jimmy.
Bailey
Yeah,
drove
we
his
had
like
everybody.
giant minivan and I said
Oh
I was crammed
yeah,
in the back seat.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, so we did that, and then after that, I literally just kind of played video games. I
Hmm.
literally played video games and went on walks and like just kind of like did whatever
Yeah.
for until September 24th. because the 28th is when my school started. And so I drove up to Portland, me, my mom, her best friend Bree, her boyfriend David, and their kid Scarlett, who I've like known them forever. So like we all went up to Portland and we drove up there. We had a pretty neat time. And so then I stayed up there for my first quarter. And it was it was not fun because like so I was under the impression like uh uh like some classes were going to be in person, but they weren't. None of them weren't. So I was just quarantined, or not quarantined, I guess, social learn or distance learning, just in my dorm. So that sucked. But eventually I came back for Thanksgiving. Um, I chilled and stayed down here, and then um, after Christmas, I had a birthday. I turned 18 or 19. Um, and then
happy late
I'm
birthday.
blanking. Thank you. That it was 4 months ago.
That's why it's
or
late.
5 months. Or no, yeah, 4 months ago. But
4 months
whatever.
ago.
And so okay, so birthday, Christmas, and then after that I started looking for a job because I was like, then might as well because I'm gonna be staying in San Diego longer. And so I hooked Jimmy, our good friend Jimmy, hooked me up with a recommendation to Discount Tire. And so then I got the job at Discount Tire now, and I mean that kind of brings us to now. I've just been doing school in Discount Tire and chatting with Alex and Jesse and all of them.
Yeah, Bailey and I are talking pretty much every day.
Yeah, almost every day, yeah.
Almost every day, either in the morning, in the
Or
evening, or
evenings, yeah.
both.
Or both, yeah, or both. Sometimes
Or
both.
both.
But yeah, and then I think that just brings us to now. So I want to say that's probably that's my where are they now?
And how would you rate your hiatus from
Hiatus.
Homies Inc? How would you rate it?
Um, to be honest, I didn't think about it that much until like recently when I was like driving home and Spotify was like, "Hey, remember Homies Inc?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, let's listen to that." And then just listening to it made me like genuinely happy because I listened to Reading Rainbow, the last episode we posted, and it was hilarious, or at least I thought so. I don't want to like toot my own horn here and say like, "Oh, what we make is amazing. It's amazing content." It was just funny listening to us just like interacting or whatever before like a bunch of stuff happens, or not like a bunch of stuff, just like
It just
a
like it
long period
got
of time
to,
ago,
yeah. I think for those who don't know, for those new listeners who don't know,
New
Reading
listener.
Rainbow is one of our episodes where Jesse wrote this middle school
Just yeah,
story, and he
it
read
was
it to us after finding it in his documents in school,
yeah,
and you just have to read it. You just have to watch it
yeah.
to
No,
understand how
he was
happy it made Bailey.
he wrote it when he was in sixth grade, and Jesse's been a pretty creative writer, so like the first his first iteration of writing was not the best.
No, I think I had to write one too, and I reread it like when Jesse read his, and I was like, yeah, this is nowhere near fantastic at all. There
Yeah.
were so many plot holes I wanted to smack my 6-year-old, or my not 6-year-old, sixth grade self in the face.
Sixth grade stuff.
Just you want to slap your sixth grade self for wearing a
The
fedora.
fedora,
I
yeah.
want to slap my sixth grade self for writing such a bonkers story.
Bonkers. So,
Okay.
yeah. All
So
right.
what
Where
would
what
you what
was
would you
your
rate it?
oh, what would I rate it?
Yeah.
The time between last episode and now, I think I'd rate at least a 7.5 or 8 out of 10.
That's really good.
Because there's some parts that sucked, but then there's some parts that were pretty all right.
That's a great rating. You want to know what TV show or movies rated at an 8 to my current knowledge.
Sure. What movies or TV shows?
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was rated at a 7.9 as
really?
of last night. Yeah.
As of last night. Well,
As
that's an
of
amazing
last night
show. I
when I
love that
checked.
show.
I love that. If you haven't seen that show, go watch it. It's fantastic. Anthony
Directed by
Mackie.
Sam Raimi.
I don't know if it's directed by Sam. You want to know what's crazy? I don't know if it's confirmed, but the Hollywood Reporter and a bunch of other like newspapers said that Captain America 4 is currently in the works with
Captain
the guy
America 4
who
is about
wrote
Oh wait, they're gonna make.
Oh,
I keep forgetting. Captain America. Well, I mean, it's obvious now, right? If you've seen Endgame,
if you've
Sam
seen
is gonna be
Captain America's like
Captain
old.
America.
Yeah.
So
So
I thought I was like, wait, why are they bring back Chris Evans? But no, Captain America means Sam now. So that makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm gonna put a spoiler warning at the beginning of this episode to be like, yo, there's spoilers for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you want to skip it, you can skip that part. But like, it's a good show. I think Sam is going to be the Captain America in the next one. But it's currently unconfirmed. So
wait.
I mean, it's like up in the air as to who's gonna play it, but they like confirm that it's gonna happen.
Okay.
So I think that it's gonna be Sam. I think we both think it's gonna be Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Unless somebody else somehow steals the shield from like Sam's boat, then I feel like we're fine. Yeah. Okay. But that's the show that's rated an 8 out of 10 on IMDb, to my knowledge.
Okay.
This has been Alex's movie knowledge from
movie
IMDb.
knowledge.
Movie knowledge with Alex.
A new segment. This is actually a brand world premiere.
World premiere of our spin-off show, Movie Knowledge with Alex. Yeah.
Speaking of new segments, did you hear about the Josh fight that happened today? As of this recording on April 24th, the Josh fight.
I did. I watched a clip of it.
I didn't know 5-year-old little Josh has won.
He won?
Yeah, there's 5-year-old Josh, and apparently he won the name.
I'm so
proud. I remember it was like, I don't know how many people it started out at first, but it was a Google meetup, I'm pretty sure, that derived from or a Facebook meetup or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of people with the same name, Josh, all different last names, just like the first name was Josh.
Mm-hmm.
They said oh yeah, meet at these coordinates. We will fight, and whoever wins keeps the name Josh. So now I want to know. I don't know how many people actually what's the actual.
It looks like a lot of people.
But it was a lot of people,
and they all fought with like pool noodles, right?
Yeah, pool noodles. I'm pretty sure, and so I'm just wondering, what are they changing their names to? Because if little Josh won the fight, 5-year-old little Josh, he keeps the name.
So everyone else has to change their name.
I mean, I don't know anybody named Josh, so this doesn't affect me in the slightest.
I know 1 or 2 people named Josh, so this is gonna inconvenience them.
This is gonna inconvenience them. Yes. So I just want to know who. What are all the other old Joshes?
Some good names to change your name to: Josiah, Giuseppe,
Giuseppe. That's
Jesse, Julio, John, and Joy. I think those are great names.
I wonder if there were any women there named Josh, because I mean, like, it's a pretty
what would be the female version of like Josh? Because I know the female version of Alex could be like
Jennifer,
Alex, Alexa, Jennifer,
Geneva. I don't.
Joshlina. That's the only one I can like think of. And I don't even think that's me.
I think you. Yeah, I was gonna be like.
I'm making it official. The United States government has deemed Joshlina a real name.
A real name. Well, wait. Is that a thing though? Do you have to have your name in? Is there an archive of names?
There is an archive. If you go, like, if you want to physically change your name, you have to go to
you go to City Hall,
and they have like you can have any name you want as long as it's
Yeah.
like registered. Once your name is like registered as your legal name, then that
Yeah,
name
and
is
that costs money.
officially,
You have to pay. You have to pay for that if I remember
yeah.
correctly.
So like according to the Dirt movie about Motley Crue, Nikki Six legally changed his name to Nikki Six.
Well, I remember there's a famous regular show episode where Rigby
Trash boat.
spends $50. Apparently, it's $50
Uh-huh.
to change his name to Trash Boat after seeing a uh, a metal band, a heavy metal band, where the lead singer is called, I forget what is the lead singer's name, but it's two just words put together.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember just the episode was like he looked at a painting of a boat and he looked at the trash can and he's like, I'm Trash Boat now. And he spent $50.
Wow, that was the peak of television.
That was a peak of comedic writing.
Was regular show. Regular
Regular show.
show. That was like an era of Cartoon Network that will
That
never
was
be replicated.
I enjoyed it. I really liked regular show. The
Regular show
ending
was
had
pretty
me
good.
sad.
Was that the one where they
Well,
fought like space
yeah,
pops?
so Pops fought his older brother.
Mm-hmm.
And so to defeat his older brother, he used the power of love or friendship? I
Friendship, I
think
think.
love,
Oh.
because Pops was a pretty loving character, but whatever. He like uses mega ultra hug
Mm-hmm.
and that prevents him from using any of his evil powers. But then they fly into the sun and they're like, damn. And so he Pops passes away and like the next 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes maybe, is a
Mm-hmm.
montage with David Bowie's Heroes playing in the background
Right.
of kind of what we're doing right now. Like, where are they now, or where did they end up?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
And then it ended with him putting in a VHS tape called Regular
Oh
Show.
yeah, and they ended with so really it was all just it really
It
was
was
just regular.
literally a regular show.
So yeah, that
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 is
was a pretty awesome. Adventure Time was another show that came. I don't think it came out around the same time.
it came out around the same time, I think. I think
They
they both
exist. There is
started in like
overlap.
2010.
Yeah.
I
So
think.
so yeah, there was significant overlap either way, and so Adventure Time um ended as well. And I stopped. Adventure Time was way more story driven than regular show.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped watching Adventure Time after I didn't have cable anymore, so I didn't like record it. And I was like, yeah, I'm too lazy to figure it out. So yeah, I know that ended, but I was confused by the ending because it went super far into the future
Mm-hmm.
and it showed like characters, children of characters I had not met or like, well, I did not see the change in them. And so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but they
I don't know. Regular. I tried watching like Adventure Time. I liked Adventure Time for what I
I
saw,
loved Adventure Time
but
until I didn't have cable.
I didn't watch it religiously like you and Jesse.
Yeah, I watched it
Like
pretty like, oh damn, I'm ready for the next
I
episode.
watched it like casually. The only show that I remember watching like religiously when I was a child was at like Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I'd see that one I knew about and I watched like I want to say maybe 75% of the first season, but then I
Mm-hmm.
stopped because I didn't watch Nickelodeon as much. I was like a
Really?
mega Cartoon Network. I was like Amazing World of Gumball, uh, Adventure Time, and regular show. Those are the
Hmm.
big three for me. There's a couple others that like trickled out here and there, but
I remember mine were Ben 10 because that show was like really good.
Ben 10. That was also
That was
that
like
yes. The Adventure Time, regular show, and Gumball were like I
oh
want to
Gumball.
say elementary school
Mm-hmm.
to sixth grade
Mm-hmm.
was that was the era of those shows. But like before that was when I was young, I watched Ben 10. I was into Ben 10 and Teen Titans, although I don't think I really paid attention to Teen Titans as much.
No, that was like that show was pivoted toward targeted towards like teens, but it
Yeah,
was
I
still
watched
really
that as
cool
a
watching the
like
fights. Like
seven-year
it
old.
was still neat. So, I can't believe like okay the big three. I remember there was this like video rental place when there were video rental places. Like it was a small local business on Adams Avenue in Kensington, where I live. And it was ran by this family that my grandma knows. So we got our like stuff at a discount. And I rented all of the Ben 10 seasons and the movies like at one point or another. And I watched it all, and it was really good. I did not understand any of the story. I just liked watching the aliens.
Yeah, I just wanted to see the aliens that he turned into. I remember I could
I got the Omnitrix.
I did too. I memorized the first 10 because it changed, or he got some new ones in later seasons.
Right, in the later shows.
I memorized the first 10, but I've forgotten them now.
I remember my favorite was Accelerate, which was the lizard one that could like that had like tennis balls on his feet. He was the one that ran really fast.
I remember that. Yeah, never mind. The tennis balls. That's what reminded me. Because I remember Gray Matter was the small, super smart alien.
Yeah, he was
cool.
There was Wildmutt.
Oh, Wildmutt. I remember Wildmutt. There was Diamond Head. There was the fire one.
Fire Heat Blast.
Heat Blast, and then there was Forearms.
There's Stinkfly.
Oh, and then there's NRG, which was like kind of like a robot guy.
Was that NRG?
Yeah.
Is he the cool one with like that was Upgrade. Upgrade was the one that was like a weird like gooey thing. I thought.
I don't remember that. I remember one was like a hedgehog and turned into a ball, and he could roll around.
Oh shoot!
I forget who that. I just remembered like just now, so I don't.
Was that Wildmutt? No, Wildmutt was like a dog.
No, like a dog that had no eyes, or the eyes were very small or whatever.
It was cool. I liked Wildmutt.
Yeah, I liked the design for being like a kid show. That had a pretty cool design of like, oh, let's make 10 aliens uniquely different from each other because he's gonna use them to fight.
It like really taught you about all these like cool little alien things, and it for a show about aliens, it really taught you the value of family. And I was like, wow.
Speaking of family, Vin Diesel was found murdered in Brazil.
Oh god. After going into space in Furious 9, Dom Toretto.
I don't even want to get into it.
I want to see that movie. Okay, Abrupt stopped. Speaking of Ben 10, Jesse.
Very own Benjamin 10.
Ben 10, yes, that was.
You were a giant Ben 10 fan.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was like Ben 10 was. I had like my own like Omnitrix as a kid.
We all had our own Omnitrix.
We all did. Everyone.
I think that was like a staple.
Yeah, like that, like the Omnitrix. I had all like a bunch of like action figures and stuff.
I had one action figure of one like not diamond head, but like a crystal guy. He was purple with pink crystals.
Yeah, Chromastone.
I had Chromastone. I didn't.
Yeah, dude, you could give me any description and I could name them.
Okay, Jesse, maybe you can help us. We're trying to figure out the original 10.
There was
the original 10.
No. There's one. The one I just need to know. He was kind of like a big, like hamster. He or not hamster. Hedgehog. Did he turn into a ball? Cannonball, like he could roll up into a ball? Oh, Cannonball!
Yeah,
oh my god!
Wasn't Cannonball the like white and yellow and red one or black one?
Cannonball was the black and white one with the yellow like kind of things around him.
Yeah, and he could
when you went hedgehog, I thought I meant like big and hairy. Like
Cannonball was the 11th one. I think he replaced Ghost Freak as the 10th.
Ghost Freak. That's another deep
I was thinking Ghost Faced Killa, and I was like, that's a rapper. That's not a Ben 10 alien.
No, yeah, it's because the original 10 were
so the ones we got through.
It was Heat Blast, Forearms, Gray Matter. Accelerate, Diamond Head, Ripjaw, Wildmutt,
the mermaid
Ripjaw.
Ripjaw had like an anglerfish head.
Yeah,
right?
it kind of looked like a mermaid anglerfish looking thing.
Stinkfly, yes, Stinkfly and Upgrade, yes.
Those are the original 10.
Upgrade was the like techie one with the yellow with a white body, and he had like the
green like thing around him.
Yeah. Like a green Xbox ring around his face.
Oh yeah, great.
So it went. I remember it went.
Like
whenever
on the
actually
Omnitrix. Thinking of it now, was Ben 10's Omnitrix the origin of the Red Ring of Death?
It literally, when it overheated, it went red.
It started flashing red. It's like your Xbox has stopped functioning.
I swear that was like the key moment in the Bill Gates' mind, or whoever developed Xbox. That was like, we need this in our Xbox.
We just need to kill our Xbox once it. How did that even happen though? I forgot like how the Red Ring of Death worked.
I thought it was
Liam had it once when I was over at his house. So it's like you have it there, and then it like overheats, and when it overheats, it goes red, and that's like it's overheating. You know?
Okay.
I want to say it probably just had very poor temperature management. So like. It just
like over time.
Over time, it lost its ability to keep itself cool enough to continue like functioning.
Mm-hmm.
But like me and my dad, who had a Xbox 360, didn't really think about that because we weren't into like video games as much or the hardware as much. So like once that started happening, we're like, well, this thing's broken. And that actually is what drove my dad to get a PlayStation 3. And that was my jump from, because my dad got an Xbox, or the original. And then the Xbox 360 came out, and we got that. And then when that started dying, my dad was like, I'll just get a PlayStation 3. And so we got a PlayStation 3, and then that like we got a PlayStation 4 after that, and I still have that. But like, that's crazy that I totally forgot. The Red Ring of Death is the reason why I have a PlayStation 4 today.
Yeah. Yep. I'm thinking also, like, were there any other Ben 10 aliens? Because I remember the originals, like there were a lot of like additions. There was Upchuck. He was the one who like ate stuff and then like shot it out as like late. It
was pretty cool. Yeah.
There was Ditto.
Ditto. I thought that was a Pokemon.
No, Ditto is like black and white. He like he could clone himself.
Oh right, yeah.
These are crazy. I just remembered the original 10. As a kid, I memorized the original 10.
There was Waybig, the colossal Titan.
Waybig, I remember that name.
He was the one
with the colossal Titan, actually, red and white.
The original colossal Titan.
Yeah, and then there was there were the weird ones that like started with Ben's name. It was like Ben Wolf. Ben Mummy.
I feel like that kind of got lazy.
I liked Ben Mummy. That one was cool. And then there was Ben Victor, which was a really weird one. It was like a weird like Frankenstein style like guy or something like that. Like some kind of alien that had like a weird Frankenstein look to it. And then like its name was Victor or something like that.
Right. Okay.
And then there was the one that I don't think you guys know. It's super obscure. It's what was it? Was it if you can look it up actually, it's Arctiguana was one of them.
What?
These are some
How do you spell that?
Deep dives into the Ben 10.
How do you spell that, Jesse?
Arctic. It's
Arctic iguana.
Arctic Guana.
I mean, just look up Arctic iguana.
Arctic guana.
Arctiguana. Yeah, that was like, it wasn't like an original one. It wasn't an original show, but it was
literally is like a blue, like
it was
weird
from the
iguana looking thing.
I think it was from the episode Ben 10,000 where they like time traveled.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
okay.
I think I watched that. I think I just remembered that.
Yeah, dude, Ben 10 was my show, man. Like that was I was obsessed with that as a kid.
I was super into Ben 10 as like a young child, like elementary school. Is Ben 10 and Teen Titans, and then we already talked about this, so I won't go over it again. But then after that, it was Amazing World of Gumball. Adventure Time regular show.
Mm-hmm. I remember actually one of my other favorites was Wildvine, the plant.
Oh, one. I remember that.
I remember that one.
I remember.
Yeah.
Jesse,
had,
the beginning of this episode.
We're getting way off track.
Yeah, this became way, but whatever.
I'm like reliving my childhood right now.
you missed a lot in this episode.
You can relive the past year because we came to the realization that the last Homies Inc. episode we did was May of last year, it is April 24th.
Yeah.
6 days till May. So basically a year ago today
I'm gonna check what exact day that came out, because I have like Anchor, which is who releases the episodes. It's like this company by Spotify
Anchor
who releases them.
Ron Burgundy.
But no, yeah. So we both did our where are they now?
People still listen to our stuff, like in December, like in August. Like there were people who listened to our podcast. Not gonna lie, I'm checking, and it's like, wow.
Like even the hour and a half one of me.
Even the hour and a half.
That's
one.
actually probably my favorite one. My favorite.
Well, I mean, there's only two, but I mean, yeah.
Well, still, my favorite one was the one where we read the story.
Yeah,
that was also my story. May 17th was our last one.
Wait, I thought we finished the story. Did we not finish all 9
chapters? Remember, I didn't finish writing it.
I thought you said we did. I was gonna be like, wait, we had the part 2 of reading Rainbow.
No, dude, we could do like I want to write like a part, maybe like when I'm back home when I actually have free time. I could actually write. Jesse, I kind of want to write a part 2. Like not like if I'm being honest, that would be pretty funny.
Jesse,
it's like the same mentality of part 1.
Speaking of coming home. I mean, we kind of already went over graduation. So if you just want to pick up
what happened in what was your story in
after graduation?
After graduation,
how was you can gloss over graduation. We want to know May 17th.
May 17th.
Graduation, and after that,
during high school, what did you do?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember much about that summer other than the stress of not even final. Well, yeah, kind of finalizing stuff, but also just figuring stuff out for RIT. It's really the only thing I remember.
So you went to RIT. So
yes.
How is
Institute of Technology? There is a dude on his goddamn race car.
We all heard the souped up Porsche driving through Jesse's uptown.
I've been gone for the last 3 hours. I wonder if he's just been circling the building.
Is it not the rocket powered office chair that you were telling me about a while ago?
He's flexing for someone.
He's flexing for the females.
He's trying to pick up chicks, bro.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
We do not condone.
Thing is though, you don't pick up chicks in a race car. You pick up chicks on a rideable chair, like a chair with wheels. Chair. There was a guy a few weeks ago. And
Jesse, why don't you put that?
Or they can pick up men. They can also pick up men.
I feel like this is the beginning of a college rival movie. Jesse is gonna be the guy.
I'm writing this down.
Nerdier guy.
Giving out script ideas.
That uses the rocket powered office chair, while Chad Bozeman uses his souped up Porsche that he did not buy himself to pick up the ladies. So who will prevail? Because we know, I mean, Jesse will, because that's just
how 90s Disney movie.
National Lampoon's
that's what it is.
That's
what
chair.
It is.
That's what I'm calling it. National Lampoon's office chair.
National Lampoon's office chair.
Coming to a theater near you, 2039.
2039. That's
2099.
That's
got him.
That's in 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
So Jesse, college, what's going on? What September or August when you arrived? What happened until
now? Well, because it's on the East Coast and I am coming from San Diego. It was actually, when I first came here, it wasn't too much of an adjustment because it was hot as all hell.
Crazy.
And because the snow didn't hit until this semester, beginning of this semester. But when it was hot here, it was weird. Campus is when I first got here, I thought wow, campus is colossal, and now I'm on it, and I'm like, campus is not that big, not really anymore. I mean, I've only explored half of it, and that half, I know the routes and everything now, so it's not a whole maze. I just kind of have that other half that's kind of like in Skyrim, it's just kind of that unexplored map covered in fog. So then I'll have to go over there. I mean, the only difference is that I can't fast travel. That would be convenient, but essentially
if only we could fast travel.
The first half of the semester, hot, terrible. Like just adjusting to like college level classes and like the just general workload, especially in art history, was a bit of a again an adjustment. So
college is a big leg up. I also had a difficult time adjusting to the difference in difficulty.
Yeah,
it's like the difference between normal and legendary on Halo.
Yeah, normal and legendary. It's like casual player, or like kind of you're just doing it for fun, and then if you want the canon experience, where Master Chief is going up against just utter hell. Yep. And jackal snipers and everything.
So what would you rate the past year from May of last year to now? How would you rate it?
So all of quarantine.
Not all of quarantine.
Most of it.
Doesn't have to be all of quarantine.
Also, we're not in quarantine anymore. We're just in what's it like? Not lockdown. I forget what it's called.
Up.
We're in like, okay, it's like quarantine, but it's like lifted slightly.
So like probation.
I'd say I think that's a good word for it. We're in probation right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting vaccinated.
Wait, probation is when America didn't have alcohol, right?
That's prohibition.
Oh.
Prohibition was when they had the speakeasies and the Americans couldn't have alcohol. Probation is when a convict gets out of jail, but on the condition that he checks in with the PO officer, that is his PO, so his probation officer, every once in a while, and I believe they can't leave the state until their probation's over.
So he checks in with the PO, the post office, and then goes to
checks in with the parole officer
with the post office.
He hasn't done any like crimes, or they haven't done any crimes, that they are a contributing member of society, and then they're like, okay, you can leave the state. You're a free man or a woman.
I'm pretty sure they can move states. I just think they can't. I think if they leave the country,
I thought you can't leave states.
I don't know.
I'm not a
I'm not a lawyer.
We'll get a law student on the podcast at some point, because it's back.
Homies Inc. podcast is back.
It's back, baby.
We'll get whoever got an A+ on Nikki's law assignment for junior year.
I'm assuming that's like Maddie Kiefer, because I know she's going into law.
Yeah, she want to do law.
We'll get her on the podcast.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, who's left?
I'm just kidding. You can have anybody on the podcast.
She's gonna hear this, and she's gonna be like, Bailey.
She's not gonna listen to this. This isn't the type of show.
This is a family variety show.
Yeah. Maddie, if you're listening, I can give you Bailey's address.
Steve Harvey.
This is a family show.
Yep. A family show for the family.
So, I guess it's my turn to wrap it up.
I guess we should.
I didn't get
on for a while.
Okay. Oh, Jesse,
what's your rate? What's your rate?
I was talking about college. It was like, guys, we like
about college. Oh yeah, college. This is gonna be a 2-hour episode.
Overall experience, like it wasn't really. It's honestly not bad. It really isn't. I like the fact that I'm able to actually like meet people outside of like the dorms. It's not all just online stuff. Like just tonight, I was out for a bit with a few friends. We played a very intense game of ping pong. And it was pretty cool. Funny enough, we actually talked about like some like funny like high school stories and stuff like that.
Whated you tell them?
Just how like
that involves Bailey and I?
No, quite the opposite.
I'm leaving the
just
call.
About how like just about how like in high school like because this is a family podcast for the family, I won't get into specifics, because I basically said that I learned about stuff from like high school that like people like did that I didn't know about for most of high school, mostly because I was more worried about college apps than stuff like that.
Yeah,
but like stuff that like people like people like hotboxing their car and stuff. Like
I put it as I put these episodes as explicit, so on Spotify.
Yes. explicit with a in bold with an exclamation point.
Of course, I'm gonna put it as this podcast has explicit content.
But yeah, overall, college, not that bad. Do I want to go home? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like honestly, yeah, it's like I can handle college, but only for so long. Next week, this time next week, actually, you're like I think I should be home. So
nice.
Yeah, and then I can just go to bed.
I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah, because dude, this last week is just, it's like I'm not even worried about like the workload and everything. I can handle that. It's just the process of moving out of the dorm that has me worried, because there's a lot of stuff I need to move. There's a lot of stuff that like I need to do before I need to like turn in my key. I need to make sure I don't leave anything in here. Oh wait, do I need to glue the thing back on the I think there's like a part of the table that's like actually like there's a part of the desk that like literally just fell off in like the first semester, and I want to try and glue it back on, but yeah. Oh well.
So how would you rate?
Remember to edit that out. No.
How would you rate the last hiatus? The last
hiatus?
year.
The hiatus of music that went.
Year.
I mean, you say it like we haven't. Well, no, we've talked.
We've talked,
but like Homies Inc. hiatus.
Yeah, Homies Inc. hiatus. Pretty all right. I honestly kind of forgot. We haven't done it in so long.
Like
yeah, no, I did as well.
It slipped all of our minds. Like I saw it on my Spotify because I listen to Spotify sometimes during class.
Yeah, I should actually do that when I get to the lab tonight. I can listen to that while I'm animating.
I'd listen to it. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Although if someone's in there, if I just like laugh like at nothing in the room, then they're gonna be like,
"Wow." If you have your headphones in, you'll be fine. Just say,
"No," but if I just like start cracking up and then they just look at me like what are you doing? It's like I am listening to myself talk. It's gonna be like,
definitely not narcissistic in any way.
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, like I'm just listening to myself and my friends talking. It's a pre-recorded message.
Literally just our thoughts. Like that's the show is literally just our, like we don't.
It's like it's like I'm listening to myself talking. There's no there's no narcissism. There's no implications. It's totally surface level. It's
yeah, it's great.
It's our thoughts.
Homie
thoughts.
Homie thoughts. What would you rate?
You're at the ink.
You're at the ink.
I'm gonna name it Homie's Thoughts : Where are they now?
Where are they now? Perfect.
All right.
So Jesse, what would you rate it? 8 out of 10 stars. What would you rate this past year?
8 out of 10. What?
Out of how many stars?
Oh, I thought you said 8 out of 10. I was like, Alex, that
was Bailey's rating. 7.5 to 8 out of 10.
Overall, I'd say probably like maybe a 7.7.
Okay.
Like there's been like ups and downs, highs and lows, but like overall pretty good.
That's what I said.
Movie knowledge with Alex. You want to know what movie was rated your rating of the past year, Jesse?
Okay.
Or at least pretty close.
What?
Age of Ultron was rated.
I had an Age of Ultron.
I believe it was 7.
I had an Age of Ultron.
It was about 7.2 to 7.5 last time I checked IMDb.
Huh.
So, which was probably like last night, but I didn't check Age of Ultron, so I think it's around then.
Nice.
So Bailey had Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You had Age of Ultron. Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I think this speaks volumes.
Speaks volumes.
Yep. I think this speaks great volumes. Okay.
I'm very tired.
Jesse's very tired, so I guess that will conclude this.
I didn't even get to go.
Oh, what do you mean? Yes, you did. You said you said you got your license in September, right?
Yeah, but that was it.
That was it. Well, I mean, what happened after September? You didn't move.
Okay. Well, I didn't even move. I stayed home. I started in October. I was the last person out of our friend group.
You started also really late.
I started super late in October. I had to stay home because my family was like, I have asthma, So my family was like, yeah, we don't want you getting coronavirus because if he gets COVID, you're screwed. A lot more than like most of the populace at college. So I'm like, okay. And I got in to be on campus. Like I applied and they're like, you can get in, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to decline. So I declined the offer. So I stayed home. I've been home this entire time. I went hiking with Justin the first quarter a lot, and movie nights with Chanel and Karen and Cynthia and Jesse. And we watched a lot of movies, and it was fun. We went a lot of hikes. I got exercise.
Yeah, didn't we watch Knives Out?
What?
We watched Knives Out, right?
We watched Knives Out. It was really good. We watched Borat, which was hilarious. We also watched Hereditary.
Hereditary.
I did not sleep for a little while. And then winter break, Justin left. So I had like no friends at home except for like Chanel and Bailey, who was
when I got back.
When you got back, and I didn't know he got back
Thanksgiving
like, later. So I was like, oh well, I didn't know until like February when Bailey was like, so I'm back home, and I was like, whoa, okay. So we started talking on Discord, and we talk almost every day, as we said at the beginning of the episode. School's been decent. I mean, I'm in it on Zoom, so like it's been like, you know. It's I miss the social interaction of school. Like I don't know what it is about sitting in a classroom with a bunch of other people. As much as you don't like sitting in a classroom for hours on end, you enjoy the people that are around you. And I don't know if that's High Tech High like being the social thing that it is. But High Tech High taught me that being in a classroom with a bunch of people is a lot more fun than being by yourself at home. As much as I liked being at home during the school year in high school, I want to be on campus like with people, you know?
Yeah.
Also because I have like one friend at school and that's like it. So for my rating, I'd give it like probably an 8 because it's been kind of meh. I've been getting exercise, which is good, bulking myself up for summer.
Nice.
But I don't want to have like a super bulky body like a lot of teenagers and college students. I want to have like a lean, like Tom Holland and Spider-Man Homecoming. That kind of workout goal. So I'd rate it an 8 out of 10, which is, to my knowledge, Avengers, the first one.
All right.
So I had an Avengers level hiatus.
Nice.
And on that note, concludes our episode of Homies Inc.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Tired.
Jesse's tired. He's going to take a nap now. Thank you for listening to Homies Inc. You can find us on any of your listening platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, Anchor. I'm pretty sure we're on a bunch of other ones that I'm blanking.
Was iTunes or
I think iTunes.
Was Anchor on iTunes? Whatever.
I think Anchor.
We work for Apple?
We work for Steve Jobs.
We work for Steve. I'm sorry to say.
We work for Steve Jobs' preserved frozen head.
We work for Steve Jobs's. Oh, we listened to. We're on Overcast. Overcast. So yeah, and you can find us anywhere on there. We have like 2 episodes, and I think this is the start of season 2 of the Homies Inc. podcast.
Hopefully longer than season 1.
Hopefully longer than 2 episodes of season 1.
Yeah.
This has been Homies Inc. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time.